I'm very happy that we are going to invite one of the eminent Sanskrit scholar and researcher, Dr. Bhagyalata ASHOK PATASKAR ji, the director of Vedic Shodh Sansthan in Pune. And she's the guide of postgraduate, so many postgraduate studies, postdoctoral studies she was guided. She is recipient of the prestigious Pandit Sadhwarkar Award. She had her wonderful work on environment and ecology awareness in ancient India. And it's very proud to say that she had more than 27 publications. She has edited more than 13 books independently. And she has in collaboration, she edited more than 6 books. She had published so many Shukla Yajurveda Ganabada videos, almost I think 90 DVDs she has published. She has having a wonderful teaching experience for postgraduates, doctoral and postdoctoral students. She is a recipient of many awards. I will quote few. Appointed as nominee of Honorable Governor of Maharashtra for the Academic Council of KKSBV Ramtek for 2010-15. She has conferred the, what I told, Sadhwarkar Puraskar Award. She has conferred the title Veda Vibhushana by KKSBV Ramtek in August 2012. She has conferred the Pandit Ladkar Shastri Puraskar by Maharashtra Seva Sangha Mulund in 2012. She is appointed as the coordinator for WBC by MSR VVP Ujjain. And she has produced four degree awarded PhD awardees under her guidance. Four of them got PhD awards, and some are in submission mode. And also she has completed, she had a wonderful work experience in various positions as research assistant, research associate, research scientist in Center of Advanced Study of Sanskrit in University of Pune, and many more to her laurels. So we are so fortunate that we have got such a versatile personality as today is our chairperson. And she will be presenting a paper on concept of UPAMSU in SRAUTA rituals. So with all respects, I invite Madam.
Namaskar. Thank you, sir. Respected Professor Murli Madhavan, sir, and the scholars. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. The title of my presentation is Upāṁśu, concept in the SRAUTA ritual. The warp and weft of the yajña performance are the mantras. One more noteworthy point with the yajña performance is that entire performance, I think, seems to be a beautiful dialogue. The use of second and first person pronounces, the first and second person forms of roots, the vocatives, the involvement of several persons and their interdependent roles. All these indicate the dialogue feature of yajña. On this background, it is interesting to see several modes of recitation of mantras or the utterances used in the yajña ritual, such as Upāṁśu, tantrasvara, tuṣṇīm, uccaiḥ, uccaistarā, then mantrasvara, madhyam, ekaśhruti, etc. They are described in the Brāhmaṇa text, are defined in the sutras, and implemented actually in the prayoga text. Out of these many, this article mainly deals with Upāṁśu. Now let us see the definitions of Upāṁśu. Popularly, Upāṁśu is considered as in the context of japa, and so one of the categories of japa. Vachika, Manasa and Upāṁśu. Among them, Upāṁśu is Shanairucharayet mantram Ishadoshtau prachalayet Kinchit Shabda Swaram Vidyat Upāṁśuhu adjective Saha Japa Smrutaha. This japa is the japa is known as Upāṁśu, where a mantra is slowly uttered Shanaihi Ucharayet and lips are moved slightly and there is little sound. Same type of definition we find elsewhere. Swayam grahana yogyaha is additional characteristic. Then jivauštau chalayet kinchit. This is another characteristic. And devata gata manasaha. One should always concentrate on the deity. And then nija shravana yogyaha is just like swayam grahana yogyaha. So these are the characteristics of Upāṁśu type of japa. Upāṁśu also means vijanam raha, that is secret or a secluded place. This highlights the aspect of Upāṁśu as unknown and hence unheard by anybody, which is very closely related to Vedic Upāṁśu. Now we come to the Shrauta Sutras. The Narayana Vritti on Ashvalayana Shrauta Sutra defines Upāṁśu as Karanavat, Ashabdam, Amanah Prayogaha, Upāṁśu, not Upāṁśu, adverbial. This definition considers the word Upāṁśu as it is actually used in the Vedic text. In the Vedic text, Upāṁśu is used as indeclinable since it is used adverbially qualifying the actions patati or karoti. The Shabda Kalpadruma and Vachaspatyam have taken the Upāṁśu as one of the categories of japa. They have taken it as an adjective for japa and hence used in masculine. Narayana Vritti says it should be Karanavat. It means all the articulatory organs are active. Ashabdam means there is no sound in the Upāṁśu type of articulation. Yes, I will call this articulation, but no sound. Amanaha means it should not be in heart or inwardly. An interesting discussion we find in the Vritti on Ashvalayana Shrauta Sutra, that whether this Upāṁśu is Yaga Dharma or not. And after the discussion, the conclusion is no, it cannot be Yaga Dharma. It is the adjective of the recitation, and therefore Upāṁśu means certain type of recitation. Now we will see how Upāṁśu is described in the Brāhmaṇa text, and it is very interesting because Brahmanas, they give some hetu, justification why something should be Upāṁśu. Aitareya Brāhmaṇa, first, in Soma Yajña, there is Adrigu Praisha, when an animal is to be offered. In Havir Yajña, the husk of the grains are offered to demons. The Praisha should be uttered Upāṁśu. Thus says the Aitareya Brāhmaṇa. It is because a speech is as if hidden in Upāṁśu mode, and the demons also move, hiding themselves in the place where yajna is being performed. The opposite of Upāṁśu is uccaiḥ. If the priest Hota recites the praisha loudly, then he spoils the speech as it is spoiled when the demons speak. When a person speaks loudly, such speech is called demonish speech, rakshasi vak. That is what the Aitareya Brāhmaṇa says. And therefore, that praisha should be uttered Upāṁśu. To utter Upāṁśu mode is a way out. Since the demons are to be informed, they should be informed because they are moving here and there in the Yajñashala. Otherwise, they would feel that they are deprived of their share. Though they are entitled for the share, the names of the gods only are to be uttered loudly. Thus, the Upāṁśu is a bridge between non-uttering and loudly uttering. In Soma Yajña, the Hotru priest has to recite tuṣṇīm shastra. Before the recitation of tuṣṇīm Shamsa, the Hotru priest performs japa in Upāṁśu mode. The Aitareya Brahmana gives information about this. Upāṁśu japa part follows. This is as follows. Hotru japam japati, retas tat sinchati. Several times we find this description or identification of Upāṁśu with retas sikti. Upāṁśu japati, Upāṁśu iva vai retasaha siktihi. Almost in all Brahmana texts, the Aitareya, Taittiriya, Shankhayana, and Gopatha, we find this ideology of retas sikti with Upāṁśu. The japa is to be performed in Upāṁśu mode because the insemination is in fact Upāṁśu, not known to others. Here others, and this describes that the Hotru japa and retas sikti, they share same feature of murmuring, or at least not known to others. Same idea is repeated in next kandika of this Aitareya Brahman. Upāṁśu tuṣṇīm shamsati, Upāṁśu iva vai retasaha siktihi, etc. Then let us go to Taittiriya Brahman. There are several references, and all of them they highlight the similarity between Upāṁśu japa and retasaha siktihi. Taittiriya Brahman, according to Taittiriya Brahman, the entire ritual of Punaradheya should be performed Upāṁśu. It gives some more additional feature of this Upāṁśu. The justification given by Taittiriya Brahman is very interesting. It says, Teno Upāṁśu pracharati, Eshaha iva va eshaha, yat punaradheyaha, yatha Upāṁśu nashtamicchati, tadrugeva tat. The Punaradheya should be performed Upāṁśu because this Punaradheya is in fact subject to regaining. It is like someone seeking lost items silently in thieves. That is what Rayanacharya says. When the Agnihotra gets interrupted due to one or the other reason, the Agnihotri should reinstall it with proper ritual. This proper ritual is called Punaradheya. So getting interrupted means getting the things lost, or lost, and reinstating means regaining the things. So when one regains or finds or searches one's lost belongings, he moves very silently here and there and finds them. So Punaradheya ritual should be Upāṁśu, that is silently. But once he finds it, then he declares, oh, I have found it, it is now mine. So Svishtakrut should be uccaiḥ. This is how this Taittiriya Brahman says. Taittiriya Brahman gives an account according to which the gods performed Upasad Ishti Upāṁśu. Another account that it is because the demons should not know it. The three Ishtis, Vizard, Dikshaniya, Prayaniya, and Atithya, were performed normally, and the demons came to know them. So, to hide the Upasad at least from the demons, the gods performed it Upāṁśu. It means to hide something, that, and it should not be known by others. It should be Upāṁśu. Thus, Upāṁśu Parichara means to perform silently in such a way that anybody else than speaker would not know what is uttered. It goes without saying that although the term Upāṁśu is an adverb for speech or closely related to speech, in Taittiriya Brahman, it is related to performance. Now this Upāṁśu from Shankhayana Brahman. Shankhayana Brahman belongs to Rigveda. Hence, the subject matter of Shankhayana is Hautra, that is recitation of Yajña, Purana, Vakya, Shastra, Stotra. There are many references in Shankhayana where the recitation is prescribed Upāṁśu. Shankayana Brahman 4.9 says, Patni Sanyaj oblations should be offered to Garhapatya, in Garhapatya with Upāṁśu mode. Here also, an insemination ideology is used. Shankayana 8.2 also uses the same ideology to state the Upāṁśu offering of the oblation in Dikshaniya, Prayaniya, Atithya and Upasadishti. Shankayana 9.1 mentions only the Upāṁśu offering in the Upasadishti. Then 10.4 mentions Upāṁśu japa of yajmana without specifying any particular ritual, but it is in the context of Somayaga. A noticeable reference in the Shankayana is Atha etam tuṣṇīm shansam upāṁśu shansati. Shansas or the rooks praising means the rooks praising the deities. He recites the shansa tuṣṇīm shansam shansati. He recites the shansa tuṣṇīm and upāṁśu, which is not acceptable. In fact, we find a translation like this. Tadanantar वह चुप होकर शंसयाने प्रशंसा को उपांशु मंद स्वर में पढ़ता है. This is the translation we find of this text. Bapat Shastri, in his Marathi translation of of Aitareya Brahman, says tuṣṇīm shansa is the name of one stotra, shastra. So tuṣṇīm shansa he interprets the name of shastra, and that shastra is to be recited upāṁśu. It is not tuṣṇīm and shansam, but tuṣṇīm shansam. Shankayana Brahman mentions uktham avachi iti pratas savane upāṁśu hota bruyat. This means the priest Hotru should recite Uktham Avachi in Pratas Savana and also in Tritiya Savana in Upāṁśu mode. Shankayana Brahman associates Upāṁśu with insemination through Ghruta. The text is Upāṁśu Ghrutasya yajati Retas siktir vai Ghrutam Upāṁśu vai Retaha sichyate. Same type of association. Now Upāṁśu in Gopatha Brahman. Reference from Gopatha Brahman is noteworthy. It says, Tasmat Brahma stute bahishpavamane vacho yamyam Upāṁśu antarayamabhyam. Uses vacho yamyam and Upāṁśu in one statement. It means then the priest recites to Bahishpavamana by controlling his speech in Upāṁśu mode for 2 praharas, antarayamabhyam, that is 6 hours approximately. A point to be noted is Vacho Yamyam and Upāṁśu both are methods of speech that are found simultaneously. Normally, a phrase Vacham Yachati and a derivative Vacham Niyamya are used. Here a compound is used, which would mean Vachaha Yamyam Yasmin Tat, a mode in which a speech is controlled. This can be taken as an adjective for Upāṁśu. A controlled speech means a sound is not produced but something said under the breath, just like I am speaking it. This is under breath. The adjective then eliminates a possibility of Upāṁśu being taken as murmuring here or whispering. It goes without saying that Upāṁśu is not audible to a distant person, only even not the close one. So one who speaks to him, Upāṁśu is audible. The Gopatha Brahman also associates Upāṁśu recitation with insemination, and there are references like this. I will skip these references. Upāṁśu nirjane, that translation gives Upāṁśu as nirjane. So it should be recited in deserted place. But it doesn't, is not suitable to this. Now we go to Shrauta Sutras. Ashvalayana Shrauta Sutra says, Japa, Anumantrana, Apyayana, and Upasthana should be made Upāṁśu in the yajña ritual. Then Anumantrana means concentrating on meaning while reciting the mantra. Japa is very clear. Apyayana is reciting the mantra by touching the water. And Upasthana is prarthana, praying. So all these three should be Upāṁśu. Katyayana Shrauta Sutra says, Upāṁśu prayoga shrutehe, which is elucidated by the commentary as Yajurveda mantraha Upāṁśu prayojyaha. In the yajña performance, the mantras from Rigveda and Yajurveda are used. Yajña, Puronovakya, Samidheni mantras, the Shastra and Shamsana, etc. are from Rigveda, and some mantras are from Yajurveda. Those from Yajurveda are to be uttered Upāṁśu. This is what Katyayana Shrauta Sutra says. The commentary on this sutra further says, Rigveda Samaveda yostu mantraha uccaiḥ prayojyaha. Praishastu Yajurveda vihitaha api uccaireva prayojyaha. Tesham anya sambodhanarthatvad Upāṁśu prayuktaihi anya sambodhana siddhehe. However, the mantras from Rigveda and Samaveda are to be recited loudly. The praishas, that is the instruction mantras, although they are prescribed by Yajurveda, are to be uttered loudly. It is because they are addressed to others. Had they been uttered Upāṁśu, they would hardly serve the purpose of addressing another person. So naturally, Upāṁśu here means this type of utterance which other person cannot hear. This sheds light on the concept Upāṁśu. Upāṁśu is the utterance that is not audible to anybody else. Now some examples of Upāṁśu I have given. In the Pitreshti of Sakamedha Parva of Chaturmasya, almost all the mantras are recited Upāṁśu. In the Darsheshti, Adhvaryu seeks the permission of Brahman to move the water, and then Brahman recites the japa Upāṁśu and then gives the instruction Om Pranayo. Then when Hotru priest, while taking the Ida, he recites the mantra in Upāṁśu. In Vaishvadeva Parva of Chaturmasya, while performing the Havir Nirvapa for each deity separately, the names of Savitru and Dyava Prithvi are to be uttered Upāṁśu, and subsequent statement Jushtam Nirvapami uttered loudly. So Savitre will be Upāṁśu and Jushtam Nirvapami will be loudly. Then I would like to give a passing reference to other modes of utterances which are used in the yajña ritual. One is Vagyama. There is difference between Vagyama and tuṣṇīm. Vagyama means control on speech. There should not be any speech activity. For example, Apastamba Shrauta Sutra says, Vagyata asana amarjanat. Means the priest should remain controlling their speech, that is in Mauna, till the Marjana Vidhi. During this time, they may be performing any specific yajna ritual. When this particular time is over, there is specific instruction Vacham Munchati, that is, they can now speech. When tuṣṇīm instruction is specifically related to some ritual, Vagyama or Vacham Yachati, this is associated with specific time duration in the yajna performance. Then there is tuṣṇīm. Tuṣṇīm means doing a ritual without uttering mantra. From the cart, tuṣṇīm, without uttering any mantra, But when grains are to be kept in the Agnihotra Havani, then he recites mantra Devasya Tva Agnaye Jushtam, etc. Thus, that particular activity of drawing grains be performed quietly. This means there should not be even whispering, murmur at that time. Even there should not be any activity at all in articulatory organ, tuṣṇīm. Then manasa is another instruction. There is difference between manasa and tuṣṇīm. Tuṣṇīm instruction stresses doing the ritual without uttering, whispering any mantra. However, when there is manasa, concentrating on the deity is intended. Manasa is more remembering or concentrating, and hence mental activity of recitation of mantra. Upāṁśu we have already seen. Then tantrasvarani upāṁśoho uccani, little louder than Upāṁśu. Then mandrasvara, pratasavana is always in mandrasvara, and this is related to octave. So in Panini Shiksha also we find mandrasvara. Then madhyama, this is middle octave. This is also related to octave, and in the madhyandina savana, all the mantras should be recited in madhyama. Uccaiḥ, otherwise this means loudly. However, it is to be understood in the context of Upāṁśu and tuṣṇīm. When Upāṁśu and tuṣṇīm instructions or this is over, then there comes tuṣṇīm. So it means in normal pitch. When some mantras or names of deities are uttered Upāṁśu mode that is not applicable to subsequent one, then this uccaiḥ instruction is found. Thus, in fact, uccaiḥ means normal volume. Ekaśhruti, the recitation of mantra without udatta, anudatta or any tonal variations, and hence it is monotonous. The Samidanis should be recited ekaśhruti. Of course, ekaśhruti has nothing to do with volume or pitch. Uccaistaram. Panini in his Ashtadhyayi says uccaistaram va vashatkaraha. So it is more loud. And Ashvalan Shrautta Sutra says uccaistaram baliyan yajñayaha. So yajña, if yajña is loud, then at the end vaushat should be louder. And then taram. Taram is upper octave. Recitation or chanting of the mantras during Tritiya Savana should be taram. So this representation of the whole spectrum of tones and volumes used in the ritual is Vagyama, controlling the speech, no audible activity. Then tuṣṇīm, slowly it comes out. Tuṣṇīm, manasa, upāṁśu, tantrasvara, mandrasvara, madhyama, uccaiḥ, ekaśhruti, uccaistaram, and taram. Upāṁśu graha and Upāṁśu speech activity. There is one mention of Upāṁśu graha, but whether there is any relationship between that Upāṁśu graha and Upāṁśu mode of recitation is not clear. I am sorry, and I request the scholars to enlighten me on this point. To conclude, I have collected and presented the information about different modes of speech that are implemented in yajña ritual with special reference to Upāṁśu. In brief, it can be said that in Upāṁśu, janayathi swaram, the phrase we find in Panini Shiksha, mandram janayathi swaram, this janayathi swaram doesn't happen. It seems only the breath is set through the proper setup of articulatory organs. However, I have no satisfactory justification why particular mantras are recited Upāṁśu. Upāṁśu is associated with insemination, which is extremely personal experience, but related to another one. Hence, not publicly known and no audible sound are the features shared by Upāṁśu recitation and insemination. That is what I think. I cannot but put forth a point. It is well known that the Natya Veda is a collective product of 4 Vedas. A story in the Natya Shastra says that Lord Brahma took the dialogue or the text from Rigved, acting from Yajurved, melody or music from Samaved, and rasa from Atharvaved, and produced Natya Veda for all. The Yajurveda is but the yajña performance, is but for the yajña performance. The dominant characteristic of Upāṁśu is to utter words that are hardly audible to others. The Swagata technique of the drama has intimate relationship with Upāṁśu mode of recitation. If it is true, then it is going to support my conjecture that I have already stated. I sincerely maintain that the entire yajna performance is nothing but the beautiful dialogue between human being and his surroundings, such as instruments, deities, havirdravya, etc. Normal pitch, higher pitch, low pitch, whisper, even keeping mum, silence are the varieties actually used in normal dialogue. In the dialogue structure of yajna, the Upāṁśu mode thus bears significance. However, implications associated with these modes do not seem to be associated with these modes in actual context of yajna performance. Now, the last but not least part of this deliberation is to see how it reflects Indian knowledge system, that is Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. One of the features of Indian knowledge system is it is integral in its nature. The Upāṁśu is related to yajna performance, to day-to-day dialogue mode on one hand, and on the other hand, to dramaturgy and to very personal experience on physical level. Thus, day-to-day dialogue, personal experience like insemination, dramaturgy, and ritual are woven in one thread through Upāṁśu. When it is parampara or system, it has a functional aspect and a carry forward aspect. Both are reflected in the features mentioned above. Dialogue is a core feature of Upāṁśu. In yajna context, it is with deity. When one talks to oneself, maybe in concept of auto-suggestion, it is Upāṁśu technique implemented. Through Swagata, this yajna old technique is still active. Of course, in drama, Swagata is used to express one's feelings or thoughts. Upāṁśu can be better understood in the context of manasa and tuṣṇīm that are deeper and deeper levels of watch, leading slowly to self-awareness. This is another feature of Indian knowledge system. Upāṁśu proves a step towards the internalization of oneself. Upāṁśu, then tuṣṇīm, then manasa. Thank you for giving me patience listening.